Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of Warhammer 40k Imperium magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course drop a comment down below. Love hearing back from you guys, and it goes an absolute massive way to help the channel too. Now, this week we are on issue 20 of Imperium magazine, and it is a paint issue, so we have two pots of paint. We have KHORNE red and we have Trollslayer orange, both very handy. KHORNE red is going to come up very handy for the Adeptus Mechanicus if you are painting along with a magazine that we start getting from next week. But otherwise, a very handy paint to have. Trollslayer orange, a nice vibrant orange colour as well. Also very cool to have, and very good as well. So yeah, really good stuff. And without further ado, let's jump into the issue. Now, because it's a paint issue, we have some different style pages in there. So we are going to go through strike forces. So, like most Space Marine chapters, the Ultramarines rarely go into war in full force. Instead, they are divided into smaller strike forces, each capable of fighting alone and emerging victorious, no matter the odds. Space Marine strike forces are at the forefront of the Imperium's efforts to liberate the Pariah Nexus from Necron control. So, strike forces, of course, over the course of the Imperium collection, we are going to assemble a large Ultramarine strike force of our own. Each time that we receive a new Ultramarines unit, the idea is to use these pages to record them in your strike force roster and record their battle record against the Necron foe. Here you can name your strike force, and you also get some D6s that you could have. So you could have, for instance, generally whatever you want. So you could have a prefix of, say, Alpha Imperialis, for instance, or Pariah Solaris, if you wanted to. So you could have something like that, or you can make them up yourself, and you can find name generators online by all means. But yeah, really good stuff, and a lot to go through as well with it. Then it's a case of naming all your commands. So you will have your Primaris Captain, your Primaris Lieutenant, and then your Lieutenant in Phobos armor over there. And then you can have your Librarian as well, which is the Librarian in Phobos armor. Your battle line squads, which include your Assault Intercessors, which it says a unit of 3, then 2 units of 5. Your Aggressors, Outriders, which we'll get later on. We'll also get the Invader ATV, which is pretty cool as well, much later point of the magazine. Firestrike Servo Turret. We will get the Veterans, which is the Victrix Honor Guard, which are really cool units, and I must admit I'm quite looking forward to getting my hands on those guys. Then we'll get our Vanguard squads as well, the Infiltrators, so we'll have 2 lots of them. We'll get some Eliminators and some Suppressor squads as well, also really cool looking units. So a lot of really good stuff from the Space Marines range. We will also get a lot of other bits and pieces as well from the Adeptus Mechanicus and the Adeptus Sororitas, which is going to be really cool stuff, and a lot of good stuff to look forward to, which I must admit is looking quite nice, and it's going to be good fun, and plenty of space to kind of record everything that's going on with it as well. So really good stuff. Then we get our Necron Tomb World. So this is about the forces. So this is exactly the same type of thing. So each and every Tomb World possesses a legion powerful enough to crush an entire system under its mechanical advance. Led by the Theron or Overlord, these mighty fighting forces are capable of suffering terrible defeats and returning once more to fight in the name of their ancient dynasty. So, of course, another one. We are going to collect a massive Necron legion over time. Here we get to name the Tomb World. So you've got your prefixes and your suffixes over here. So you could have, for instance, Serpent's Scar or Solemn Crypt as your Tomb World, which will be pretty, some pretty cool ones in there. Or you can make up a name of yourself as per usual with all of these, and a lot of really good stuff. Then it's the kind of the main command is the Command Barge, which will be really cool. And so we will get that, which is for our Tomb World's Pharaon, which is going to be our main leader for the good old Necron forces that we're going to get over time with the magazine. So really cool stuff. And then a load of units. So for your Royal Court, you've got your Overlord, which we've already got. We've got Royal Warden already. We've got the Technomancer already. There will be a Chronomancer, a Plasmancer, and Lich Guard. Then we'll get our Legion, which will be the Necron Warriors, which we've already had, the majority of them anyway. Immortals, which we're getting sometime soon. Tomb Blades, which are pretty cool. Then for our Outcasts, the Scorpeth Lord, Scorpeth Destroyers, Locust Heavy Destroyer, and then our Flayed ones, what we've already had. And then our Canoptech Constructs as well. So Scarab Swarms, Canoptech Spider, Wraiths, a Reanimator as well. And then we also get the Triarch Stalker as well, which is a pretty cool one, which will be really, really good stuff. So we've got a lot of good stuff to look forward to with the Necron Legions that we're going to get over the course of the magazine. Really, really good stuff. So we have two pretty imposing forces to collect, to name and place down on these records. If you're not 100% sure or if you are going to expand them, you can recreate these, of course, on Excel or any kind of program like that for spreadsheets, or you can just draw it up. Photocopy pages, by all means. I'm pretty sure they won't be upset if you are photocopying pages from the magazine. Games Workshop generally encourage it with a lot of their books to kind of get you going, which is the main thing. So really, really good stuff, and pretty damn cool as well. Then we get more information and lore about the Imperium. So this is the Imperium Part 4. So this is all about the Emperor. So, of course, we have a nice bit of artwork of the skeletal remains of the Emperor of mankind atop the Golden Throne. So, long ago the Emperor walked amongst the living, rising to unite humanity under his leadership and ushering in an age of enlightenment. It was he who created the Space Marine Legions, and with these mighty warriors at his side established the Imperium of mankind. This era of progress came to an end in a brutal civil war that saw the Emperor's mortally wounded by a traitor's blade. So, the kind of what they're alluding to there is the, if I remember rightly, is the Horus Heresy, which is set about in the 30,000 really. It's Warhammer 30,000 essentially. Horus Heresy, there's some fantastic models for as well, and some fantastic novels as well that are available in pretty much a good deal of stores. So Waterstones, good old any of your Warhammer stores, online retailers, and some game stores that also stock Warhammer stuff have had some of the novels as well. But really, really good stuff, and as well mentioned on here, and it's kind of giving you a bit more kind of detail of what's actually kind of kicked off and the Emperor himself really. Then we have more stuff that's mentioned, so the Astronomicon, the Emperor's Presence, and then Guardians of the Throne themselves, which is the Adeptus Custodes, which, you know, if you ever want to paint the Adeptus Custodes, the golden armoured Space Marines that have the kind of pointy helmets, look a bit different and look a bit cooler, and if anybody's a fan of The Witcher or anything like that, Henry Cavill, who plays Geralt of Rivia, actually collects Adeptus Custodes and paints them, so which is, you know, pretty interesting, a bit different as well. So, and some people find it a bit shocking that he's actually a Warhammer fan. Anyway, coming back from the tangent, we also get the Necrons, so lore about the Necrons, which is the technological boons for the Necron race. So Necron science has given birth to a myriad technologies, all far in advance to anything possessed by the lesser races. Nobles, Cryptex and Necron elite possess eldritch machinery that can alter the flow of time, turn incoming fire aside and transport entire armies across the galaxy. So, we have mentioned here the chronometrons, should I say, which are the kind of cosmic cubes, and they use arcane technology that has been granted to them that gives them kind of a mastery over time and space. Think the Tesseract from the Marvel Universe, or the Augmento from Doctor Strange, and that type of thing. There are dispersion shields which deflect a wide range of fire, and are very, very strong and tough, and can be used in all sorts of ways. There is the endless invention as well, so they Cryptex are the scientists and engineers of the Necron race, and they are ceaseless and obsessive in their pursuit of new weapons, armour and instruments of war. So, and they will kind of help produce more and more and more and more to kind of win and defeat all of their foes. We get the Nanoscarab reanimation beams mentioned here as well, so mounted upon looming Canoptech reanimators. Nanoscarab reanimation beams project streams of minuscule nanoscarabs that swarm over Necron soldiers, vehicles and structures, bringing them back to working order. Organic foes struck by such a beam are less fortunate, for the nanoscarabs instead swarm across their bodies, tearing the victim apart in a shower of blood and gore. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it, really? That does. And then they also have the ability to use quantum shielding and translocators as well for teleporting, and kind of projected shields that they can use as well to kind of deflect any kind of fire and incoming attacks, which is really, really cool. And very, very interesting. It's all pretty cool stuff, and it gives you a bit more insight into what the Necrons technology is like. And then we have our how to paint. So this is kind of getting you back up to speed with your painting section. So using things like Trollslayer Orange and using your KHORNE Red paints. Up to you how you want to use it, but you can get some really, really cool looking stuff. So you can have a bit of a rust effect using the Trollslayer Orange if you wish to. It does kind of work. So you can kind of dribble it down into things like Agrak Surf Shade, and it does make it look like paint is peeling, and there's a bit of rusty effect as well. And then kind of using your KHORNE Red on certain Space Marines as well to kind of get your energy and particle heat weapons for your Primaris Lieutenant, aggressors, captains and assault intercessors. You can make them look really, really cool. So really, really good stuff with them. Then moving into the good old gameplay section of the magazine, we are getting more and more expanded rules. So over the course of the magazine, it will go through the bigger rules and overall arcing rules of the game to give you different things for different factions. So starting off with the reanimation protocols for the Necrons. So of course the Necrons are being androids, they can be reanimated and brought back from destruction really, and kind of on the game and in the battlefield. So depending on how you roll, for instance, if several warriors have been killed, as long as your rolls are right, and 5 and a 6 for instance, you can bring back 2 of them and bring them back into the fight and carry on fighting with them. Expands your game, changes it up a bit, and can be quite frustrating for your opposition as well at the same time. Then we have the enhanced rules about the command phase and the movement phase as well here. So over the time this will get chunkier and chunkier, and we'll get a lot more and more detail about different rules for your movement and your range and stuff like that as well, and all your different phases of the battle to kind of get you going with a lot more of it. So just like we did with Conquest magazine and with Mortal Realms, this will get heavily expanded until you've got near enough the full rule book that you would normally buy, in all honesty. So very, very similar to that. And then we have our playthrough at the very, very end. So your setup, you'll be using aggressors, assault intercessors, Scorpath destroyers and 5 warriors. This is on a small mat, so the original small mat that you get. It's a more confined battle, but really, really fun and pretty cool as well. Have a bit of fun with it, enjoy it. Over time, as I've already said, it will go through improving the rules and kind of expanding on the rules that you'll be using to kind of get you going, and then once you go in with it, you'll be more kind of capable to go for full battles and bigger battles as well, that you can kind of make up and not go off the playthrough sheets if you wish to. Then we have, of course, that page giving us more detail. So between issues 21 and 40 of Imperium, we will get the Adeptus Mechanicus joining the fight and more good old Necron fighters and more scenery as well, which will be pretty cool. So really, really good stuff to look forward to. But of course, next week and the week after, we get our Skitarii Rangers. So different painting options, different weapon options as well, and ways to build them and play with them, and more stuff to learn. Really, really cool stuff. Entirely up to you how you want to go about painting them, if you want to go for the same way that these guys have done it, or if you want to change it up and make them look very, very different. Entirely up to you. I'm looking forward to getting going with these guys. I will do a painting video on them as well. And talking of painting videos, there will be one coming up sometime in the near future. I must admit, with work and everything, trying to recharge after the Christmas period, I have been a little bit slow with painting and not painting as much, but I am getting back into it, and there'll be more to come in the future, so just watch this space. But for now, thank you very, very, very much for watching, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye bye now.